masters in the US was my worst decision. So yeah, I studied in the US for 4 years, 3 years undergrad and 1 year of master's degree, and these 4 years were so fruitful कि अगर I am Singh in USA right now is because of these 4 years. If the person you are seeing right now is because how they have transformed me in these 4 years. A bari review of my master's degree, undergrad degree, and these 4 years that I spent, how it has added value to who I am right now. Kya ye studying experience worth it to get a job in the US, to be a software engineer? How much I am actually using the skills I learned in these 4 years as compared to what I'm doing right now as a software engineer? Let's find out. Number one, US is more advanced and technology is ahead of rest of the world. हमें इंडिया में सिखाया जाता है that if I will study in the US, I'll be first of all learning something which is more up to date. कहा जाता है that India has, the books are very out of date. You will be learning technology which is 3-4 years outdated as compared to the West. That could be right, but in my experience, the syllabus that I learned in the US, it wasn't very much different from what you are learning in India as computer science students. Basically, 1 plus 1 is 2 everywhere, whether you go to Harvard, MIT or IIT or any of the private schools in India. The difference comes down to your networking opportunities, friends, and the opportunities you grab on your own by being in college. मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ. अगर कोई एक स्टूडेंट MIT भी चले जाता है and on the other hand कोई एक स्टूडेंट प्राइवेट कॉलेज इन इंडिया चले जाता है, इफ़ यू कंपेयर बोथ ऑफ दिस सिनेरियोज, आपको पता चलेगा कि MIT में हाँ स्टूडेंट्स के पास ज़्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि उन्हें अगर ट्राई करनी है सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग इन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट गूगल, उनके सिर्फ 10 स्टेप्स दूर, कुछ बिल्डिंग्स के 10 स्टेप्स दूर ये सारी कंपनीज हैं. दे कैन गो देयर, नेटवर्क, अपना रेज्यूमे देके वो जॉब जल्दी ले सकते हैं बिकॉज MIT ईमेल इज़ वेरी पावरफुल एंड वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट उनके सामने है, वो उन्हें वहाँ पर रेज्यूमे दे सकते हैं बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो वेंट देयर एंड आई सॉ द सेम. बट नाउ इफ़ यू आर इन प्राइवेट कॉलेज इन इंडिया, हाँ आपको यही नेटवर्किंग करने में शायद बहुत टाइम लगे. लाइक यू हैव टू गो थ्रू रेफरल्स, network on your own, hackathons में जाओगे, layers में you have to find your way to go to these companies and then find opportunities. But once you completed this step, you are almost at the same level, क्योंकि जो आप वहाँ पर पहुँच के करते हो, no one asks you that whether you're from IIT, MIT, so that doesn't make much of a difference. तो ये आप अपने दिमाग से निकाल लो, अपने जहन से निकाल लो कि यार हमें कुछ ऐसा एक्सेप्शनल सिखाया जाता है in the US and West which help you be better at your job. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. What you actually grab on your own, that makes a big difference. Number 2, syllabus. So I actually used to think कि यार जो हमें Java, Python, जो भी programming languages or whatever the syllabus that we are actually taught in the US, it is more up to date and professors are more evolving. But that is also wrong. I actually looked at the books. I looked at all the slides that professors go through in the classroom. India में भी PowerPoint slides से पढ़ाया जाता है, and US में भी. And I think most of the things are pretty much same. And in fact, bad apples are everywhere. You cannot say that US में पढ़ रहे हो all professors will be great, and you cannot say that you're studying in a private college in India all professors will be bad. That is completely wrong. What you can say actually is the power of networking of that university could be different. So for example, let's say you are in a private college in India, आप network करने के लिए उस email के through, let's say it's apc.edu in private college in India and it's like mit.edu in the US. Both have different powers because you are in US. But if you have the skills which are above that edu email, that outstand you. आपके पास अगर skills हैं, आपके पास जो achievements हैं, that define you more as compared to your university. Number 3, which might be shocking for you, that US professors or professors in any university, what they teach is not everything. You still have to go to Udemy, you still have to go to YouTube to have a deeper understanding of what they're trying to teach you to study for your exams. क्योंकि वो जो पढ़ाते हैं, that is one perspective of a professor, वो कभी complete नहीं होता to understand and have all the knowledge you need. You sometimes have to get different examples from different professors on YouTube, online. उसी से आप सीखते हो, एंड यू कैन नॉट जस्ट थिंक कि यार इस प्रोफेसर ने जो आपको सिखाया वो समझ नहीं आ रहा, दैट मीन्स कि यू आर डम्प. नो, दैट डजंट मीन यू आर डम्प. इट्स एक्चुअली दैट यू नीड मोर एग्जाम्पल्स एंड डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव्स ऑफ लर्निंग, तो उससे आपकी लर्निंग बेटर हो सकती है. नाउ दीज 3 पॉइंट्स प्रीटी मच कंफर्म दैट यूएस में पढ़ के इट्स नॉट दैट I got to learn maximum things. It's actually that by just being in the environment, I was able to give a space जहाँ पे मैं सब कुछ सीख सकता हूँ. But reality में ये सारी चीज़ें I could have learned online. The degree didn't teach me anything new as compared to what's there online. What it actually taught me was how to make friends, how to work with teammates, how to do projects when you have 4 people and one person is not willing to work. How to do homeworks on time when you have 5 different classes and 5 deadlines coming at you. How to manage all that time. That is something which taught me, which I wouldn't have learned if I wasn't studying in the US as a college student, or I was studying, or if I wasn't studying in any university. So ये सारी चीज़ें जो मैंने सीखी है ना, ये कॉलेज डिग्री ने मुझे सीखने में बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प की है. एंड दिस इज़ वाई आई पर्सनली थिंक एंड हाउ इट हैज़ मेड मी अ बेटर लर्नर एंड एक्चुअली अ क्विक लर्नर and an evolving person. क्योंकि in tech world you have to keep evolving. In 4 years I saw how technologies in, like, let's say Android development, it was changing from Java to Kotlin. iOS development was changing from Objective-C to Swift. So how these technologies were rapidly growing, ये सब देख के जो मैंने चीज़ें सीखी हैं, I was able to learn to keep myself up to date. तो ये bigger reason है that I think degree was very fruitful. Now let's come to the hard part, why I still think that if I did not go for master's degree and मैंने अगर US में पढ़ा ही नहीं होता, if I didn't have studied these 4 years in the US and I would have just completed in India, तो मेरी life कैसी होती? First of all, I personally think if I would have studied in India, my life in terms of learning would have been safe. I would have gotten different friends. जो मैंने hackathons में participate किया, I would have done same in India as well. And मेरे पास budget थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा होता. And my parents would have been able to help कि यार मुझे अगर बैंगलोर या हैदराबाद जाना है for hackathons, वो शायद help मुझे ज़्यादा मिल जाती because my parents already spent so much money in studying in US. तो उनसे extra पैसे travel करने के मैं कभी ले ही नहीं पाया. I wasn't able to travel anywhere in the US till my 3rd year, or actually after 2nd year when I was making enough money to save after paying my tuition fee. तो वो मुझे लगता है कि यार अभी भी थोड़ा सा regret होता है that I should have gone to other places to attend more hackathons. Because if you look at my resume right now, I have attended majority of the hackathons in Atlanta itself. I wanted to go abroad, but I couldn't get the funding. I got the funding in 2020, but तब COVID हो गया. So that is something would have been different. Now next part is the packages. I personally think काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स से अभी भी पूछते हैं who are graduating in India, उन्हें भी बड़े बड़े पैकेजेस मिल रहे हैं, 40 LPA, 50 LPA, 1 CR, जो इंडिया में ही मिल रहे हैं. Now they actually struggle to decide कि उन्हें US में आके मास्टर्स करना चाहिए कि नहीं, उन्हें एक्चुअली इंडिया की कंपनी से ट्रांसफ़र लेके यूएस में आना चाहिए कि नहीं. माई आंसर टू दैट विल बी येस इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सप्लोरिंग एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेटलिंग इट इज़ योर विश. क्योंकि अगर आप यूएस में आके सिर्फ एक्सप्लोर करते हो, यू कमिंग आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, दैट एक्चुअली हेल्प्स यू टू एक्सप्लोर कि कैसे वर्ल्ड काम करता है. I think by coming to the US, by making friends with all over the world, by getting the perspective of different countries, मुझे पता चल गया कि हाँ, there is not just few ways of making money in India. There is actually worldwide ways of making money कि आप अपना अगर business launch कर रहे हो, how you can globalize it, because you discuss these ideas with different people from different countries कि how they are like pursuing some passive income on Etsy, Shopify, या फिर इंडिया में online other options है जैसे कि दुकान, like how they are different, how they are able to monetize these पैसिव इनकम. हर एक का अलग पर्सपेक्टिव होता है. डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लोगों से बात करके यू कम विद डिफरेंट आइडियाज़. एंड आई कैन ऑनेस्टली टेल यू दैट 4 years मैंने जो भी यूट्यूब कंटेंट बनाया है, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ दैट कंटेंट हैज़ कम अप विद आइडियाज़ दैट आई डिस्कस विद पीपल बाय नेटवर्किंग. मैंने कोई लाइफ में बुक नहीं पढ़ी. इन माई लाइफ आई हैव एक्चुअली रेड ओनली 2-3 books. 1-2 were because of my CBSE education in India, like Invisible Man and Helen Keller. And इसके अलावा I have read only one book, which is Atomic Habits. So I personally have learned by talking to many people from different backgrounds and learning from how they are making money and how they have evolved. So ये चीज़ों से I have become a person that I wanted to be. I was able to be in a peer group जहाँ पे fitness को ध्यान दिया जाता है, where I could prioritize my fitness as well as my mental health and whole well-being. तो ये जो networking opportunities जो मुझे मिली हैं, I can honestly tell you यही आपको इंडिया में भी मिल सकती हैं. This is a very very subjective thing to consider, but one thing which is definitely considerable कि आप बाहर आओ, US या फिर किसी भी country में जाओ, explore, think, connect and see how the world works, and after that it is your wish to go back. Finally, let's talk about the harsh reality why I think that masters in the US was my worst decision. Answer to that is subjective because I did 4+1 program actually, and 4+1 program में you do undergrad in 4 years and masters in 1 year. And ये आपको काफ़ी universities, India, US, everywhere, they motivate you to do it. And let me tell you why they actually push you for that. Number one reason, जब आप 4+1 program करते हो, first of all, university gives you free tuition. आओ यार हमारे पास पढ़ो free में. एंड विच इज़ वेरी इंटाइसिंग. एंड वो आपको लगता है कि यार कुछ चीज़ फ्री में मिल रही है, उसे छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए. बट रियलिटी इज यूनिवर्सिटी गेट्स रियली रियली बेनिफिटेड बिकॉज इफ दे आर गिविंग यू द डिग्री फॉर फ्री, दे आर एक्चुअली मेकिंग यू वर्क एज वेल. आपको अंडर ग्रेड स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाना होता है. यू हैव टू बी अ टीचिंग असिस्टेंट या फिर लाइक हेल्प देम इन देयर क्लासेस, ग्रेड and stuff like that, or you have to be a research assistant, with which research reputation of the university increases. And in fact, you will not believe, when I was a master's student, my professor who I was doing research with, all the professors I was with, they pushed me to do PhD so that they can keep getting cheap labor and I can be a PhD student for five more years and keep helping them do innovation and keep helping them make more money. But I did not get into the trap, but I still got into the trap of master's degree. It was completely not useful for me. Now, number one reason is I did masters in data science, which is considered really hot field. If you look at ChatGPT, Bing, it is considered that it is the future and it will help you get the highest paying jobs in the future, and your resume will be more diverse, like software engineering as well as AI. And if you can take a look at my resume as well, I couldn't add much related to AI because I was always into software engineering, and I realized later when I chose masters that data science is not for me. Because जो core understanding of statistics, it was very important to understand the classes, and it was very difficult for me. I was almost like failing. I was getting B grade, and in master's degree, for me at least, less than B grade is failure. You have to take the class again. I got 1 B grade on the edge. If I actually failed that class, I would have completed my masters in 1.5 years as compared to 1 year. So वो class में fail होते होते बचा, and it was very very difficult for me. Masters is not an easy thing, and getting 80% plus means a B grade, and that was hard for that class. And for even for B grade, I had to discuss with my friends, take their help in homework, and with their support only I could pass that AI class, which was like disaster. Number two reason why I did master's degree was to get higher chances of H1B visa, because in the US it's considered, if you have undergrad degree versus master's degree, your chances of getting H1B visa are higher with a master's degree. To be exact, it's like 10% higher. You can watch my H1B video if you want to know why it is higher. But in short, yeah, your chances of H1B visa are higher, that you get 3 years of work permit after you graduate. And uske baad, if you want to stay in the US, your chances of H1B are higher. But I got unlucky. It didn't affect those 5% probability is not worth spending one more year. And 1 year was even more worse for me because that was COVID 2020. It turned out not to be that fruitful. Let's ignore the COVID part for now. Let me tell you, if I did not do master's degree, then there would have been stark difference in my life. I would have started working as a software engineer in 2019 and I would started to make money faster. And majority of the stock market boom was since COVID. तो मैंने अगर वो पैसे invest कर लिए होते, I would have had net worth much more than what I have right now, and I would have learned more as well. क्योंकि माना जाता है when you enter the industry, when you're working full time, you figure out your interests better as well. उसके बाद अगर आप masters करते हो, you have clear idea what you want to do masters in. But at the time when I was trying to do masters without full-time experience, just after undergrad, I was just doing what my friends, people around me were telling कि यार ये futuristic है, and if you were good in like software engineering तो data science भी हो जाएगी, your resume will be varied. But honestly, for my passion as an Android developer, it didn't even help by 5%, did not even help by it. And actually it helped me waste time, those stressful times I had during the master's degree, which was so insane. And let me also show you my resume right now, because if you take a look at my resume, you will see all the hackathons I have. So let's look at the resume's achievements. All the projects I did are in 2019, and this was actually in my full-time job. So in that 1 year, I didn't even have enough time other than my teaching assistantship job, research assistantship job, that I could do more projects that I enjoy, because masters was difficult for me. And at the end of the day, जो भी professors आपको सिखाते हैं, they give you not enough resources for your assignments. Lot of assignments are research based. आपको घर जाके you have to learn from Udemy, you learn from YouTube, keep on watching videos and spend hours and hours doing homework, which is very, very time consuming. And I personally learn more by doing the projects I enjoy. Look at this Android app I did. I enjoyed it thoroughly that I did at HackGT, and I was given an award as well, overall best mention for concept at HackGT. So these moments, by doing projects that I enjoy, that was more fruitful in my memory for me as compared to यार जबरदस्ती data science के projects करना. I still have bad memories when I think about it. Now here's the conclusion. Should you do masters in the US if you have work experience? Yeah, go for it. But if you do not have work experience, and if you do not have clear in your mind that what you're going to do is your passion, something you're gonna enjoy, and you're willing to put hours and hours into it, irrespective of how boring it gets, because at the end of the day आपको पूरी picture imagine करनी है that this degree or this experience overall, ups and downs definitely will be there, but overall जो आप सीख रहे हो, that is fruitful अगर आप अपने आप को समझा पाते हो. And overall, data science, if you're enjoying it, or machine learning, software engineering, whatever it is, if you're overall enjoying it, yeah, if there are ups and downs, some courses are boring, some professors are bad, some professors have accent जो आप समझ नहीं सकते, it could be all over the world, which is accent you are not used to. तो अगर आप overall ये ups and downs ignore करके, if you just look at the whole picture, and if you're enjoying the whole picture about it, then go for it. Otherwise, take your time, do full-time job, explore different fields, and then come up with a decision. Because I think you have more freedom to explore when you're working full-time, because 5 p.m. के बाद your life is pretty much free, and I had more free time when I was working full-time. It could be different. अगर आप ऐसी company में काम करते हो where there's no work-life balance, you might not have time to explore. You might not have good vacation days. But if you choose the right company and explore through networking. For example, I have a friend who is in McKinsey, and he was able to explore different layers, like कि data science engineers क्या करते हैं, machine learning engineer क्या करते हैं. By exploring and being with that engineer, if you're completely having the exact idea what you want to do, then going for higher studies will be more fruitful. So that will be my personal opinion. This is all my personal story, so do not take it as advice for your education, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.